awesome. We're about to clear some energetic chains on safety, but we also want to make that intention when we start that process. We want to create a sacred space for ourselves. We're going to have a warp gate to super accelerate that, but for now, we're just going to do it basic, where we put up, you know, kind of like a bubble around ourselves. It's a protected area, and then we're going to make that grounding core from the center of your spine down to the center of earth, to with a plaque with your name on it, connecting it there, and then start feeling the energy start draining down. Then we can think of like a inner circle, which would be like an aura, and we're just gonna sweep the energy. While we feel like energy coming down, and just kind of just get in a moment where we're sweeping it down, getting to that kind of sacred space. We're just building that conscious awareness that when we're about to kick off warp gates, we're creating a sacred space for ourselves. You know, sacred, protected space. Just gonna ground it down. And now we're gonna jump into the warp gate. Fantastic, you're on this next level. This is really, really good. So now we've cleared energetic chains on like safe to be safe, to mom, dad, to our grandparents, to our siblings if we have them. Also for our only child, what that is, now we're gonna do something that's actually to ourself. And it's a slightly different in the word. It's self-referencing energetic chains. And it's ways in which we hook back into ourselves. So we picked up these connections from our parents, right? And how we, like, you know, it's like, oh, we got to do it this way. And we're all connected like that. And then we start taking it on and owning it to where we start doing it to ourselves. And we connect to previous younger versions of ourselves, because we don't want to make ourselves wrong, right? So all of a sudden we switch to a new way. That's why it makes change so difficult, because we want to step into this new us, this new person. But yet we have this allegiance to our old person, our old way, our old self. And it's almost like by stepping into this new person, we're invalidating that old person, that old self, and it creates that chain. And we have that chain hooked back to, it's like we're moving forward, but then all of a sudden that person, that old person we were, it's like, well, that's not for me. I'm not that person. And you get like this tug of war and this fight and this pull. So we're going to release those energetic chains because we want to be free, especially in relation safe to be safe. We don't want to have that constant reference back to, well, was it safe for me back then? Like what I'm doing now, is that safe for me back then? Which is irrelevant. However, we got a chain which is going to get processed. Like it's always like, well, is it safe for that 8-year-old, for that 2-year-old, for that 1-year-old? And it's like, well, it doesn't matter because that 1-year-old isn't here. But when we have an energetic chain, we've got that information going backwards and forwards. This is why this is so, so powerful. So we're going to jump in with that. So it's all of the energetic chains that I have to myself of, is it safe to be safe? I release in my highest good. All right, so now we're gonna move into the not version of this self-referencing energetic chain. And it's the same way we're doing with mom and dad. We're just noticing the differences, noticing the energy move, and notice that if the, you know, is safe versus the not safe and how there's a difference. And we're just letting the energy move, letting them see it. They're like, okay, I'm making the change, because we really want to make that conscious connection that you are making this change. And then also we're letting it go. We're not holding on to whatever might come up. We're like, okay, that's leaving. And if it gets intense, just like the other warp gates, we can slow them down with, you know, 1 at 1/2 power, 1/10, 1/100th. It's fine. It's going to completely end. So we're going to jump into this self-referencing chain. So all of the self-referencing chain that I have to myself of, is it not safe to be safe? I'll release in my highest good. Fantastic, you just kicked off some warp gates. Now I also want to once again recreate that sacred space and give the energy a place to go. Like where we want this to go, we're going to be super accelerating that with the warp gate coming up. But for now, we're just going to create that bubble around us, a little sacred space around us, taking a grounding cord, just a beam of white light from the center of our spine down to the center of the earth. That's where it's all going to drain to a plaque with your name on it. Think it clicking into place, click, and then all of a sudden Everything starts draining down. All this energy that we released with the warp gate, we're just draining it down, telling it where to go. We even feel light coming in from above, draining down. Use your hands, kind of just sweeping it. Just a little manual process, sweeping it down. Still very powerful. I mean, our warp gate's running in our unconscious, so we're doing a ton of energy work right now. We're just kind of giving in a direction of like, let's just energy go. We're just letting it go, right? Hooking our conscious mind up to, we're letting this go. You've done a fantastic job. Until we talk again, have a blessed day or a blessed night.